Throughout the years, Christianity has been very important to those in the black community. Mount Him Baptist Church is one of the oldest still standing churches in Jackson, Mississippi. I was able to speak to many different black individuals about their religious upbringing and what Christianity means to them, starting with CJ Rose, the youngest pastor of this historic church in Jackson, Mississippi.
I was 28 years old. The average age then was probably about 70. I was probably the youngest, if not next to the youngest person in the church. And so stepping into this stream of history, knowing that this church has been around almost 2 centuries, and there's a great legacy that I'm called to build upon and to extend. And so doing that while also just attending to the basic pastoral needs of the flock. I see the impact of Mount Helm Church in the decades to come as being a place where people have come to find hope and healing and thereby become leaders. They take the helm of their own lives, of their communities, because they know that God has done something in them that has transformed them to take them out into the world so they can be transformers of the world.
And I feel just like you would in the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you have a need. You go to the hospital because there is a need or a desire to be met. Same thing could be said for church. I naturally and spiritually want to be a better person, so I go around like-minded individuals who are at the church.
Christianity is being taught and practiced through many generations in the black community. Some grew up in the church and experienced Christ at a very young age.
I've been religious, brought up in Christianity, really since I was born. That's all I know. That's all I ever grew up in. I got baptized at 5 years old, not because, people was going up there, because I knew my mama always talked to me about it before I could understand.
What happened is that when I was in the Methodist church, my grandmother took me to a revival, and a revivalist, the speaker, her name was Reverend Stewart. And I remember sitting there on the bench and I heard her message, and as a 10-year-old, it just pricked my heart. I started to cry, and at that time it was the first time I really experienced God, and I knew that God was real.
To sum Christianity up in one word, I just say relationship. The relationship with Christ would be the one that lasts the most, rather than your mother, your father, sister, brother. Your relationship with Christ lasts, and it matters. So,
Christianity means to me following the teachings of Jesus Christ, and I think that in order for us to do that, Jesus Christ laid the foundation, and the foundation of everything we do, the foundation of our faith, is love.
Oftentimes, when thinking about black churches, music is something that comes to mind. It's used to help individuals praise and become uplifted. Musicians have the pleasure of doing just that, and their role is vital.
And the thing that's most popular or more powerful with music is it's the only entity that has the permission to enter into your mind without your permission. It's sound, meaning even when you're not trying to listen to it, you're listening to it. Case in point, if I listen to the commercial, Frosted Flakes are more than good, they're great. You was not trying to learn that song. You was not trying to learn that, but you learned it from repetition and because they played it so much. So in that same vein, if I listen to uplifting music or music to help me get in a better mood, music controls your emotions, that would help me or help put me in a better headspace no matter the mood that I'm listening to or no matter the mood that I'm in. Whatever music that I'm listening to, it will directly reflect the mood that I'm in.
There are many churches in Jackson, Mississippi. These churches have helped bring individuals closer not only to God, but to one another. Christianity has been prevalent for black people for many generations.
The black church experience in Jackson, as in many other largely black communities has been essential to and central to the life of Black folks. And, you know, one question would be, what would the Black community be if there were not churches, even if they were on every corner?